for benya gidie e wo MPP for yi mu a omonjintum from so my ye omonjintum or say your master mine for the past 7 to 8 years what can say kwa what can so be answer
listen tonight
what can so be and what be and on the assembly about to that it is God who is working. God is working in the favor of Ghana. No my Ghana be see here I tell you
with the sickness I will take
nothing will stop Ghana. Se brene dura Ghana chances wo tumrika o may be no better stop Ghana.
But what I will not accept
ye here ni ugidie
you to leave this room
ani ugidie na montuo se wodi wani be hunu no kure no na wetu anamon e wo no kure na wodi wani ehunu no wetu anamon e wo no kure na wodi waso ate no okase kwase chebi ma hene beba abonte abekase sa japade buku no mo twere ye no enye no kure okase kwa adenti da ya de ka ayi japade buku hu asem no wa ma abonte abekasa adenti na nanse ya ye kwa akoto abayi and wo kasa. Have you thought about it? Have you asked yourself that question? Me say nya kwa o Yakupon de nse tiri bibi so di atremo Ghana for mutie Ghana for mo try.
Thank you God.
What a God.
Every sickness has vanished.
He's an amazing God. Wo ya mane ye fedo do ebra ye ni naso no na ye nsankyere ni adane wedi sabra yi mu amanfo ni gidie e wa asani bia hodo sabra yi amanfo ni gidie e wa judge fo atamu anu mu no e na nyame ama ne nsa so sei said Dr. Atufo said you are acquitted at the start anya kwa choboy abodon se pounds be dia na miensa adwuma ni bredie fire all the naysayers. Omo se Ghana ntimi nkoye no. Ghana ensi ye no. Nyame jantomo so. Ebesi Ghana ye.
He was a prophet of old. When he heard of the broken walls of Jerusalem.
And this is what the Bible says.
Bible says.
What did he do?
He fasted.
Watching the yam come.
And he
Pompaye
to the God of
one in Yame Kasaye. Emma Yame dine the Kwaya one for the broken walls of Jerusalem, no, Obetima fix it. The broken walls of Ghana, a quite man, you better fix it. Oh, yes.
Then it pleased the king,
oh, yeah,
that the walls of Jerusalem,
and Yami favor it on so. Emma or Hinema Quine, so Betima Quaquaya, first year, or Betima Sarkozy, a first year,
that the walls of Jerusalem
and the Biana cost were my Ghana
to be built.
Yami favor top and ye so say a quanya my Ghana economy but bounce so back and you through the 24-hour economy. Now my for church that 24-hour economy there. So what that 24-hour economy there. Some for you that the way your ideas. Any be any but say be anywhere see what a reasimu a bean see that
none of us here present
a bian see
in the
24-hour economy there say what that and for the walk one tears here
Nehemiah
one tears here say sa e shishena trade union congress in case a year the game changer sa shishena good for e wa mo fo so no one tears here say amafo agya to e ti die no nye one should dan same one should cancer want to show. Said the bay amount for dream about so we cried in your bibia. So bibi.
He
obi a waben wo sikasɛm bia ɛse saa kwan no na wɔse yɛfa so na yɛka se yɛyɛ ɛnoɔma a yɛtaa yɛ paa deɛ a ɛbɛtaki ɔman Ghana 30 years asa the economy no bounce back. God is working. Have faith. What is Opianya GDA? Ye to GDA December 7, 2024. Ye chua my Ghana and your free sound question. Ye GDA. Yes. Let's fight. My mental go Facebook Power 979. TVXYZ Ghana. They work a beer for my Ghana. How she go? Dear free Wakuma, dear free Sunsumu, dear free Mua Passa would die in the deed. And the fire mine honor. She go. The person catch Dr. Cassiel at 247. She go. For 247 tweet the tools will be for the tweet the 2 will be they were on Facebook the 4 will be. Let them see. Romans chapter 9 verse 14. What then shall we say? Is God unjust? Not at all. Roger Emmanuel, the sports would have connected to my card. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Siwa, a year as a Libyan Rano. What then I know this to Etruja at the Faho, your Kafa on Obatenka. Southuna, a year Mampani John Mahama, Nabedia Che, Professor Nana Jeno Pokwajuman. One in an Elba Pro with Vivi Mantemo. Let us almost yes, a quino, while Bromodia to dress. A Vivi Mantem one or mobile pa or manifesto the Huntama. Obeti and some of my Kenyan, our brother, your boy, Tonto Zansai. Ya woman, Nimini, Ya Bema, Ya Chumberema, Ofias Obatenka. Serbe Benya, Huntias, yet your course. I was a Libya far, a year Dr. Cassiela to force Richard Jackpao. And I better say no, Omudia, and Richard Jackpa, Ekasaye. Your kind, yet a better money. Pasabre, a good young son, yet a bremo. Messages I hold about Charles Oli say good morning to you. Thank you for the great inspiration this morning. Samson Mario say Jambro se minima busu nyina ye dan nyame ase. Wo said you see the twa bosumi mu. Ye kase ye kam nsema ye ntimi nka ne ba adom ne ahumobro no aso ye nyina ye so. James say Jambra nyame hira. Mario say Jambra nyame hira. Samson Akusika Rescue Mission with ye jano pay. Wise Amasamai was it thank you God. Already at Dasama, a year Dr. Cassiela to force it. Wise Amasama made us a new message. Brasso, our power 97.9. Dwabo Ase Sudia Yakwa.
right, and so Embrana so say and the Dwabo Ase sports and an pay a bit to me at the Abramo and there the Beko Olympic Games are Ekoso Ewa Parinumu and Dra Harry Stacy or no Ghana any swimmer on freestyle no and Mama Diano Okoye and so Ankoye and the home results by Bramo Sanso and Dra Ewo a year Accra Hearts of Folk Omu be on clubhouse for annual Hisian Keys no de ama Accra of Folk no so and Dra Kopie mo ho near course ho nyina ye be Bramo Sanso and Ereba Ghana Hanso a transfer news in Crofo na e kasa ne ekoso ho nyina e ho som so e bebrɛw enti ende we ene nsem bebre e na ye hwɛ nim sɛ e bebrɛw onim sɛ transa na Dovita Hebakri ne kono so asan na gudiem ensem no ye de ebrɛm sisi ano omo de herbal medicine foforo kraba no eboa e cleanse blood vessels no sanso e na gonorrhea enso e how na sanso e na wo menstrual pains constipation waist pains e na ye kidney disease kidney stones ne how nyina no hwehwɛ binom na wo nom bia e beboa wo na ho atɔ ne how bia no ho enso ebeto omo 24-hour delivery service nationwide entino emra pa bibia no wo se wonya bi na utumi kɔ hɔ na utumi enya bi nom omo wo awoshi elang taxi station ho enombutu betumi so afrom 0246 26 5313 and 02055868877 WhatsApp number no so 02055868877 Dovita Hebakri was good health is our concern. We can say producers no Roger Emmanuel the sports bonak and na Kojo Fosu Fandi yenshen sem na se na ye shase efi Ghana ni akwadare so a the din Eddie Harry Stacy onim say Olympic Games no ekoso e wo Paris den na so ya shase ya Ghana ye competition no endra and na first competition no yetumi ekoye na eno eye emmema 100 meters freestyle swimming ni mu na so no Ghana ye pie mu no ankoyi a Harry Stacy 7th position and no so no otumi edi ho enti no sisi ano qualification we qualify we free games are air course no 7 position no na enu ye hit 4 and so no otimi ekoya ne time otimi make 51 seconds 42 milliseconds and otimi make ho a and so no bibia ankoye amfama no ye kasa de Harry Stacy we free competition air course e wo Paris Olympic Games are air course na owie no or den sem etudwa o si we the first Olympic Games and you know on your disappointment on your disappointed say with me Ephraim yenti Harry Stacy.
It was good. I mean, like, just the crowd was amazing. Just seeing my family in the crowd as well, seeing the Ghana people come to support me. I heard them all cheering. So I'm really grateful for the support. As for my swim, it wasn't my best. Normally I'm first to 15 meters or second, and then also first to the 10. And this time I think I was around 4th, so my first 50 wasn't my best. But the second 50 coming back, I did what I normally do, so I'm not too mad at the performance, but it wasn't my best for sure. So building blocks for the future. There's been just learning experience after learning experience. Definitely building blocks for the future, hoping to come back for the next Olympics. And I've learned a lot already, so yeah, just looking forward to these next 4 years, train hard. I knew a couple of people in my heat, and it was fun racing them, and yeah, just a good overall experience. Yeah.
We Harry Stacy this summer or the atuja owie no na Ghana ye swimming coach ono so din Daniel Opare no so no all the ensem kakra tuja o say nia oye Harry Stacy here no o say nia Japan say the first ever Olympic Games no so no wetimi ayesa yente Daniel Opare nsem odi tuja.
We are happy for him. You know, all the coaches, the swimmers are all here to give him our support. Yes, we know him to be a very fantastic swimmer, and that's why he's representing us there. I'm sure he himself will not be happy with the time he did, because he did 50 lower at the African Games, and then went to Angola to do a similar time. So we were expecting him to even reduce the time a bit. Unfortunately, I mean, a lot of things happens, so I am not there with him, but I would say he has done his best for the.
Enti the way Ghana your swim coach Daniel Opare in sama odi atudwa na odim say last Olympic Games no ko represent Ghana Abeku Jackson this year no wentumi ankobi na ni papa the din Eddie Kojo Jackson ono so the nsem kakra etudwa Harry Stacy Endra ankoyi no yenti Kojo Jackson.
It is the biggest for the top swimmers. How big would it be for a Ghanaian swimmer? The answer is obvious. It's the biggest thing that you can have. I wanted to enjoy period with the Olympics. If you don't enjoy it, you can't put off your best. If you are too tense, if you are too anxious, you tend not to put up your best. So I wish her the very best, and I wanted to have fun and get a good race.
Wey papa ni din Eddie Kojo Jackson no so ni sama odi atudwa na ye kai Ghana forces isi no still Ghana ye won crofo betimi compete that Saturday Rose Amanima ono high jump eba Africa there number 1 sanso eba Ghana national record holder ntino ye hwe nim say Rose there no betimi akoye sanso na 100 meters 200 meters and sanso mano omusumi nso no ye hwe nim se bibia bekoso e di ama oman Ghana ntino za pepe na ekoso e wo Ghana fa nanso da so a eji Olympic Games na udim se endra mema no matches kakra ekoso na matches ekoso Dominican Republic and Uzbekistan etumi edisieni ewie no na match no etumi aye 1-1 e sanso na Spain enso etina fie ema Egypt ebom ekami no a omusu no omutumi etimu bako sanso na Morocco enso echi Iraq ebom ekami ensa omantumi ante sanso na Ukraine enso etina fie ema Argentina ebom ekami no a omantumi anti New Zealand enso any France match no 3-0 in favor of France and USA enso any Guinea match no USA echi omo bom ekami ensa omantumi anti Japan enso eche Israel ekaba ko omantumi anti na Paraguay enso etina ho echi Mali ebom ekaba ko a omonso entumi anti ye medal table no Olympic Games na say NCT Japan we ready kind or 13 medals ho sanso na China enso all 14 medals ono no the gold 6 silver 6 and a bronze 2 sounds and a Japan there no gold 7 silver 2 and a bronze no 4 Australia at the third position or 11 medals 6 gold 4 silver 1 bronze sounds so and a France or that fourth position and also the gold no 5 silver no 9 and a bronze and also 4 wa no so ye bomu edi emamo yanko Nigeria ni din and so edi ono 100 meters ono so otu na so no nya abeto dwane say Nigeria FA no anase omo a omo hwese Olympic Games no bekoso no ni din omo amfanko wa qualify anko be compete Olympic Games no o Games Village wo na so 100 meters no beko no Nigeria for 24 amfa ni dia contest na officially wa qualify so be compete wo na so ni din enim entino ntumi en compete bi mame a ni din e di favor ofili ni nsema no so no ekoso enso ewo nakache no yanko ensemfu from dia na yeko Accra House of Folk enso akache endra ewo Accra House of Folk akache no omo clubhouse from Accra omo ebia anono endra yeko ho a yeko hwe se bibia enso ekosi endra ye hu se mpenifo bebre na mabie mu ewo ho a ye new edifice a omutumi ebie no eye feye pa Ghana ha we the first ever eye getumi enya eye building we bi club building we bi ewo Ghana ha intino Accra House of Folk ase omuti omani pa ewo Ghana na club owner no togbe afedendra ye hu se ono ewo bi sounds na board members bi etise Vincent Sowa Odote yesu yehu no Akwesi Ajiman na CEO of Ghana Tourism Authority ni nam yehu mu wo ho a mu hwe se bibia enso ebekosie ewo enra ne ekoso ewo clubhouse House of Folk new clubhouse omutimi aye yewie no na papa ne din de togbo afede ono no life patron de ema House of Folk or in sem kakra etudwa yentie na otumi eka ye wendra omuni keys no de ma no.
A demonstration of our commitment to building a solid infrastructure base for Accra House of Folk. Sooner than later, we'll be commissioning this place, and soon after, we'll be commissioning the Pubman Academy as well. The two together for a demonstration of our commitment to building a preeminent club in Africa. Of course, we have secretariat that the secretariat that will continue to function. What we have today will remain our commercial center. Again, a demonstration for our commitment to ensuring that we exploit as much as possible the commercial value of the brand that we are building.
Entino we ensema tugba vede otumi ede etudwa na okasa wie no na Hearts of Folk fans and rom kopie mu enso e ho no obde ensem kakra etudwa yentie mu sunsema omde tudwa
Hearts of Folk ayakra
asefo danu hwa dan e chele lamunde danu e chele lamunde edem ka to se wani e ketekete wani e ketwa o kotoko for se fa da obo sa container obo do park no so ketepra ba gi satani atra obo do wani atra dada na dan wo de ma auroras na obo tenda wo satani e kwa ni dada board nso ka oye so gba fede abogofia the 14 azokere cancer
inde ya baba bi hura no agi mi nsem ba inde woti wono wo hwe hasofo kobi man kekem kwa wo na wo ya asini a ya anwo ama meni age ba dia ya beka che papa dia na to bi nse we nyina waye but pitch ni so anko yi a amanfo hu dia waye no ya se pitch ni so anko yi a enipa hu dia waye no nti yesre no when what me aye na pitch ni so de enim so ba any simple amay say no no kai no operate management solid technical team any racer best squad a omutima abo asfo a yenya 64 battalions no enim so betima ma yedi abosa
the boy na togbe ene ni mpayinfo abaso e wa de fefa ma ya makrabo no since the tears of folk 1911 no yenya de fefa bi say da na sende has folk supporter de omo sesi omobo e ka say ye commercial center papa bi say ya eye says ye ne work of Morocco any experience in Tunisia no ene e bobla na say de me ka che mpayinfo no say be papa ne ba mu so me yenya brother papa say aka field of play no field ni koye ya supporters no so e da we e subaba mfaso
entino we ensema and drive course so e clubhouse for has a folk omatumi ayem rentino e de agudie mu ensem no esia na Dwabo Ase ato aso e de ama producers no Roger Emmanuel the sports monarch e na Kojo Fosu Fandi minso meji edian so meji so e Ebotela be de agudie mu ensem no edisia
me da say hard working young man Ebotela wabo adwuma dende ne kama de agudie mu ensem e de abramo na no pay with Dwabo Ase e wo power 97.9 because be ma sa hoden na tia ba from na say yedo kwa agoprama so wuntimi eni agoro no ma edem mafia bo wura agboso herbal clinic enedai sere be ya obenya yaresa ena feso empemu yade ahodo nyina no oba be ma obeti ba wura agboso herbal clinic sere be ya obenya wa yaresa ne wa yarehwe joma cha kwa okwachiman wani ahimfie no nedi ani mu hwe obeti from 0241 750282 0241 750282 and 0557 402 696. Nenkrabata da watermano our community 25 Savannah Junction. On a death track estate no ND animuche. Krabata na watermano bet from 0557 402 696. 0557 402 696. And a person who say Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center. Womo yensa jirani ahodo omo adroya womo jira Ceylon cinnamon aso ye amafo abeja tumpa adroni dia ne Medimosis garlic capsules ababwa ama moja no dia fusani ye babwa na ama hoden abetena wapom adroni so besa be ye bambo ewo wapom asi yade ho kwan na ne kase mpa ne se yade bi account bi afawura Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center serbeya ubenya yarehwani ayaresa prostate wonsem eye empason komambre toye oba ne bema amohwehwe ba munya ba mano no munro bebre nanso emfa mamo hypertension diabetes sciatica yade typhoid fever malaria efen wasem emubuo yade stroke and afenso empamu ensa yade woni wura Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center ubenya ayarehwani ayaresa jomacha kwan adenta barrier omne post station no eredi ani mo hwe ASL dankesi ani Ghana Highway Authority yard ni mo anu mo wo e wa Accra Ministries eje kwadwo omne school for the deaf no eredi ani mo hwe na fa so Kumasi de ahenema kokobia no mo wo from Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center e was 0244 068 447 0244 068 447 tena se wo ba bia wo no fi se ensema course wo court nra afeni e ba be pense mu ni age emu nchiremu de na judge for no pa kire no 2-1 no asechire ne sai a judge for 2 no de na no moka de otoso miensa wono no de ne ye 1 no de na no wo pa kire lawyer Godfrey Damese obekwa akosiki for appeal ala fa bebre eni o makasa e kire se kayo mu akasa no mo be ba sa na montuo bekwa akosi sai san komo no ye de bram wa bra ye botonto sansan e ko ba bia
na sawote konkoya na trasa samaba
ayamo o fire sane mani ade bobiati oba no wanye ni aka no be ni yesusu na waka na this government dey anya kula
sawote konkoya
na che say o fire
ede dey fire na nyame dey fire na ye lawyer tumbere madia mranim ni a wo ye na dwuma wo man Ghana mranim ni a waben a wote eye ne ekoso e wo court no enura no oba begina ne nim de so akyerɛkyerɛ mu ede akyerɛ ze Ghana nkomo obi a de obi a nkomo obi adie eno no ene nea esi nura a eye Dr. Kasiela to force ambulance semi aba eho eye atemu ba ye ene said ye ajagefo eka wo nsem ene said ye amanfo esigi eye atemu no so no san komo no na agye afota achita Ghana fana nyina but ma me lawyer kwaba na me na chi wodwumadie so lawyer kwaba ma chen so bibia boko fantastic as answer memoir chance na yedi enkomo no yentie owura Richard Jakpa ebra ruling ne baye no in terms wa woni e kasa ye wo kasa fidie yi so na said ye wosiso ruling nim no enie ya toto wano esema yete ye wo niana na woni nkoma woni ye gofedame di ye ni nyina no mi bisa se akonya badie ni nyina no was it worth your time?
Oh yeah, for me it was worth my time. It was worth my time because it has exposed the character of the Attorney General and also the modus operandi of this government. And also, it has also exposed our judiciary that we have a lot of work to do in our judiciary in order to bring their integrity up and to also encourage those who still have their integrity in the judicial system. They need to be rewarded. So for me, it is worth my time. In fact, this victory is not only for me. It's for all Ghanaians who cherish integrity and cherish good governance and democracy and the rule of law. It's a hope for all Ghanaians that we still have judges of integrity in this country, despite the state capture by the mother serpent of corruption, Akufo-Addo and his crooked Attorney General Gofredame. And that is serious meeting. We still have men of integrity in this country, so there's still hope.
We need Kota Konya baby wo.
Mini kota samasa.
Sabnanka sankasa ne.
What is
Sabnanka sankasa ne for ambulance ne. You say enya assembly here bi wo.
We still, you still you want you say assembly you want trading and you want civil. Yes, new government for judgment. Attorney General and the court say contract needs to say assembly bagwa and say yanko ADR alternative dispute resolution and concord negotiating and solving amicably. So Attorney General I apply for commercial court. Say court no order you mean say yanko ADR and negotiating contract no. And the court no order him. So as we know can see civil case no your ADR you better send you negotiate to either pay as judgment debt, pay as or we continue the contract. But criminal one there
last one when you hear last one Attorney General Minister for Justice call United Kingdom no a young commoner when you be wo 34 no so no what the kwagina a young land the worker say share on said said you miss it to a young Richard Jakpa no and he said you community kono bibia da di prefer say NDC for ni ato force ni Jakpa no kra no obu case na follow flat one year see e dey na work at no
yes okay because say anything you catch us say obato Dwabo na
eti ora Richard Jakpa na hotel in Canada wabra ɛyɛ atemu de bae no yɛne ne kasa wɔ Dwabo Ase soɔ na lawyer Tumberima yɛnkɔ ruling ni mu deɛ na judgefoɔ no ɛka deɛ na no mo pa kyerɛ wabra ɛkɔyɛ 2-1 asɛnkyerɛ ne sɛn.
So ubusan is then the simplest meaning is that one say assemblyman to that's
say assemblyman debut.
And so I mean once that they have been acquitted and discharged, one for Moon could not court on the same thing again.
But that's Jackpa Ekabi said there's a civil side of it.
Yeah, on a private matter. And
which
it doesn't link here. Woman they could see you are buying. I know they are no one's money until I know they are young in me no one.
In fact,
I mean I just want to say that we will not be much interested because I need your only big C and only big C for near bias. And I'll say in their contract they say they should use ADR. If once it is part of the contract, you can't bypass that and go to court. It's not allowed. So you have to use that process to address your matter.
Okay.
And it's done in most contracts. I mean, you find it say where there's an issue, maybe a resort to be arbitration or something. The sign can BBC now for who sign arbitration on court. I mean, you are wrong. So you'll be asked to go back to the forum. Mummy, you don't say BBC Ambako. So that is why I don't want to go into that.
Okay. I'm going to judge no. I judge for no. You be a kanye. Edifa a ye asam no wabra. Omudu matemu obano.
Okay, so in the side, the Ubusan side, and what I can say is the two said the matter should not be continued. And let me quickly jump to. Okay, so for instance, the concluding part of Justice Akabuafo was say, based on the evidence heard, in my view, no reasonable trial can safely convict on it. Also, in my respectful opinion, the evidence proffered by the prosecution against the third appellant cannot even be said to open to two likely explanations, but only to one. But to only one, which is that innocent of the charge. So on this position, I will say based on the above analysis and infidelity to the law, I am of the opinion that the appeals filed by both the first and the third, and the first in here, Atuforsen and the third year Richard Japa, should succeed. It's in the results. I would allow the appeal and the ruling of the trial court dated 30th March. And the ruling of the trial court dated 30th March near Bra court in the case said they should enter defense. Calling on the first and the first appellant to open his defense, yes, in respect of the charges of in count 1 and 5. I hereby set aside, that is what you and Western chain, also call on the third appellant, which is Jakwa, to open his defense in respect of the charges in count 3 is set aside. In their place, an order upholding the submission of no case entered for both first and third appellants in respect of those 3 counts in the charge sheet are issued. Consequently, both appellants are hereby acquitted and discharged. So signed by Justice Kweku T. Akabuafo, Justice of the Court of Appeal. Okay. So in simple terms, one no and the other Justice J. Mensah no, sound to the point say the two parties should be acquitted and discharged because I don't see any more be a fast one more at transit. So normally ubo bi kwadu a ubo kwadu no wi ade woman say nipa no timi at the end of all prosecution case no ye ma kwan say ono betumi akasa bi a o tie wonsem no nyina wie no went me and nail to the wall enti woni question bi aso bi ya no enti eno na ba ma na gina so akasa o file no case submission enti o file na sa court no ni adwen a ye be jan say de ya no wa se court no na adwen a ye be kasa o open the defense because bibi o so be ya no the high court said say bibi o so be ya no enti o me ya no enne ma on about to force in Japan nyina no ebi start bi o defense no.
That's right.
But na almost even though say court high court no case obi o defense no, they still didn't, I mean, it didn't sound well to them. And I said they didn't agree with the court. And the moment we see actually court, a higher version of the court, which is the Court of Appeal, above the high court. A court said that be Saudi ya court na share see opinion defense. Still na ya ti ase ni inti court ni mwa ye na on kasama ye mie defense no. And I want to ask them to see baby my. And no na umutra yi na judge for me ensa. Normally high court there, that is how you find it. You are either going to get it unanimous, which is all the 3,
right,
or 2-1.
Right.
That is a normal thing that you find.
Right.
And you know, Once is 2-1, it means the majority decision.
But you don't quite say enyina so bi wo ho enti wo se edi asem no a wo ye one no nyina so a wo de ka asem no ye
well so no on the no so hu ne say I mean there is a case for them to answer on so the conclusion is no can no but let me quickly get there and see some out a brief summary of no conclusion na on so ne in simple terms on so can say on the hu ne say there is a case for the justice Alex Opoku Champon on also in conclusion the learned judge did not err in her ruling that the first and third appellant have a case to answer. The submission of no case made by the two were therefore rightly rejected in the ruling of the learned trial judge. That is supposed to say, or no, if High Court and judge now can say, as some who also may yan, or no, any yadring.
That's right.
And normally this is what we find. I mean, even if this matter should proceed to, I mean, the Supreme Court or whatever, you may find the Supreme Court either agree with the Court of Appeal or going to agree with the High Court. You will never get anything different.
Argentina Attorney General no when he breso who can say a normal who can kasa na obey no but at the end of the man what said the table is by any enyina so a judge for me no enyina so de ka o masem no at the end of ebesia ebema ebesha Attorney General and say look mama say anko seeking for appeal.
You see, Kwame, and a human oil, so you may find about you see, men no. It will say a quiet procedure that you may find a lawyer appealing against a decision of any court. So, men into Miss appealing to get a better version of the memory. But as some way, you are born the day in Kwame. And you go for them to me who say, Nako can for over my first watching the baby and Nami or sending Ben Nadaji.
Come
all right, so we see Nipana I cause financial loss, right? That is one more minor Sika.
That's right.
Sikano, so on Sabek Sikano. And ne chumba kwa dem Diana what them who is a Kenya.
So mind being a Sikano.
And a Kenya. Talent one man on 9 priority.
Power the fair.
Because what I say, oh, press on mine being Jessica or mining Koboka. Into a mining boka or Quembisuna wouldn't say. Ye ne say and keep in scan back. I know one more wadin. Because there was that opportunity. So option buy. Big C for one cancer, they are ready to pay the Ghana back. Musica. Monfa, when the cars the Monfa. What's one panel? So I know my major say. And yes, said, Nipa Bonisembin, I won't know while buying a new Nipa, Mobazamo you. No man, no money, and I'm Basamo. Because some person pro money idea. To me, even though we are lawyers, I will go for the money than to go for incarcerations. Because you can't measure. You can't wo say ayra in your mind. What is can ayra? And then I will piansa I mean yam chu biaso wo. Na mo manika sam kro wo. What kind judgment in baby?
Yeah.
Japa your agent. When see Big C, you are the contract between Big C and the Ministry of Health.
And your agent.
No,
a Big C. Any health.
When you party to the contract.
Yeah.
When you party to the contract.
It is nature say, Niaman for dream say, what would do many SC at 2 force in a jackpasono. And the nuclear. No,
I know from what I'm reading, and I mean, it's not no. Would you crowd for school some tunche? For a few years, I cry a market. Usikaira. Obi obi esika ne yehu no ya se ye mane kwadam o sika ne ma eno ne nipa ne betu esika ne ma de na ka beje mi sa kwa me
of course I know they make kind
of course you go for your money
yeah
you need the money more than nipa ne kwadam na sika na show say asem ya yedi say ye jeni wo mu a azumi say we say kwada say ya togu but say ka court ka say bia no na even say judgment ba ye say bia ye so ye di o mi ni nyina to fiase sika ne ma biem the money is gone. Are you more interested in the money going waste, or you want the money back so that we can use the money for something better in this country?
It's not a bit messy.
No, and then I a bit messy, but I'm just telling you, say, assuming you would have been happy for us, for two people to go to jail without you getting the money.
Ebia ni nyina so na wo hwe no. Eba woni nsem o ka kire me fa pa umu ewo ebra no ni di nkomo joy news. Yentie se de wo si kire ni nsem wa bra no insist say Obeko the appellate court akosiki appeal Godfred Damenie.
I'm not the only one who was surprised by this ruling. I'm sure the entire nation is surprised because indeed the public has been following the trial and the evidence led by the prosecution. It is not in doubt at all whatsoever that there has been financial loss in this matter established. It's a case where vehicles reporting to be ambulances were imported into the country in December 2014. Indeed, they were bereft of any equipment or parts that would render them to be used as ambulances. Apart from that, there were serious material defects with every part of the vehicle. Indeed, the specification of the vehicle was wrong. The kind of vehicles that were supposed to supply the contract were not what was supplied. That is not in doubt. And it is a matter on record. There's also a report that was obtained by the Minister of when the NDC was in power, which stated categorically that the vehicles could never be converted into ambulances. The vehicles are of no use to the nation, so financial loss has been established. Now, the only issue then left is the link between the accused persons and the offense. And it's again a matter of record that the former Minister for Health, who was in office at the time that the transaction was brought into being by the act of Dr. Atufosin, had actually written to the company who supplied the ambulances, not to supply the ambulances, not supply the vehicles at all.
Okay, Ora Godfred Dame, Attorney General Minister for Justice, no. Also, I'm quite sure I walk seeking for appeal. Bibi enu ebet ma stop no. Was say vehicle no na ambulance no. E will say yemu near ama nyina so owo anasa dance owo e da di pefe say or say yemu pa na ambulances yi wo. What the yeshi so a enye eti atemu na ba nra no de ankoye kra amwa ma no kre no ambeda ni wedi the okan no.
You see, Godfred should sometimes credit yemu bi no say anye bia no de woni mi yenimu ade ba ko ne nyina yesu yemu bi no ka de yesu na hodo ba de ho wo hwen bia kwa de kwa de wo fa just one like ade ba ko no some of us we have duplicated and triplicated it. So what you say? What are you trying to say? Kwame Minkah Kwame Minkah as in their judgment. Yeah. My lord, Mr. Kwame Minkah also testified for the prosecution.
A former health minister.
The dance near no go for them no dance man no. T. Now me can be coming. Was say Mr. Minkah testified about the letters from the AG advising the Ministry of Health about Big C intention to sue and the ministry's response. He also testified about the post-delivery inspection of the ambulances and the report written, which indicated that the medical equipment which ought to have been in the ambulances were not in them. He also considered that the equipment later were shipped to Ghana.
Later shipped to Ghana.
What's the kind of cannot be used as ambulance? And you might be a ambulance near the back. We are dancing now with the cotton court in the
wow.
They were later shipped to Ghana and at the Tema port, but the said were not cleared. This is your health minister saying it. Your own witness. I want to have court say, "On good dance man was saying was senior man there, but now so man clear. Now we reason just man clear. It's a reason, because according to him, the ministry did not have the funds to do so.
Hey, it will quite be a day. That's some name. I
buy this car not even in the fleet. Habo. Until the man I no. Also, go serious.
Not just a normal ambulance, the ambulance.
You can't I'm quoting him from the time in paragraph 69.
Wow.
This is him talking.
That's the second went
or not say I find in this country young and money good port where I problem.
Wow.
Now port say military media. Transport to media. It took going on PM country me. I mean, sometimes they talk as if we don't even have sense in our brains. Port me a bind there. I bind the country port no. A Ghana asset. And I bind a can in my bedroom. I bind one is going to be in my report. Can you imagine? I bind a walk car bar was when you know so a foul port 120 man of ano. What you from for the party or port no? Or no so when this going to be for no one near Mau. Port on one day, no one near my report. And you go to sit at a court and make this. The word I was going to use was too harsh. I mean, to say this on reasonable things. And you want us to be clapping for you. And you are happy saying this. Say, yeah, me so the pebre Air Force Base ambulance is yo. Ko Edium was saying that and okay. I say how want to that letters of credit now at force and sign it. And my man also testified about the letters of 7th August 2014 and the 12th August 2014 by the first appellant to request for the LC. I noted that he initially said the LC was requested without notice of the Ministry of Health. That is what my man can say. One more letters of credit and one more Ministry of Health and Amania. But when he was confronted later, of course, there be some about it and the cross-examination from the other side. Or see, he accepted that his initial position was wrong.
What? The
initial position said they requested for the letters of credit without the Ministry of Health notice was wrong.
Wow.
And Mr. Mamanu also said letters of credit is not a payment by guarantee. Again, following is the snippet of the discourse. So the question is the question here, and you have also served as chairman of the Public Accounts Committee in Parliament. Is that correct? Or say that is correct? So you have quite a working understanding of how letters of credit operates. Is that correct? Or say yes, I do.
That's right.
And are you aware that you are not, or you are not okay? That letters of credit are not payment in themselves, but are guarantees of promise of payment subject to certain conditions. I say that is so. No. So I confirm and say, if you sign letters of credit, which is just a letter, and not payment.
Thank you. It's the letters of secretary Bianco.
At first, didn't make any payment.
It is a
guarantee. Say, if you're able to do A, B, C, D, and you are satisfied, this will be done.
Wow.
That doesn't mean I've paid you. That doesn't mean I've asked somebody to pay you. It is different from some time office. I authorize say, pay Kwame Minkah 10,000 Ghana cedis. Credit his account number. So may mount specific directions and orders. And you're different. LCD.
No, what's your LC anymore?
Yeah, what's the LCD? I mean, LCD, just a mere guarantee on what kind, a guarantee of promise of payments subject to certain conditions. If the conditions will be stipulated, it won't be clear. You want to make sure that any money now is satisfied.
Why you answer?
Answer what you
okay.
And again, it is not the Ministry of Finance that was going to buy ambulance. One ambulance already.
A health ministry.
I have any ambulance. That is why the contract agreement is between the Ministry of Health and Blue Sea or whatever, Big C, sorry.
But the best secretary as a finance ministry.
Okay. So he will direct and then somebody will pay.
It's the
finance ministry because they coordinate the activities, they will just direct you. It's most payments to come from Ghana.
It's the LC no adanse die krata kire say ye tam sika dia ma eye big C meboa.
No, a guarantee say for certain conditions ye ma sika bi.
Okay.
And I'm not saying not the one saying this. Or no go man I wouldn't know so could dance man and can you.
And you see,
so the court is just reiterating what dancing in that's what bekan. And the man you need to say what some woman can dia. It points to the fact that you
see, lawyer to lawyer, lawyer Haruna Idrisu, a member of parliament, Tamale South. Once a mere okay, any baby out Pasaway, Oko where be not and word two, a year Godfrey Dame for said. So what cost you to one among say walk a pillar. Why do you think see a book out to know? But only a foot to no dema, but Blockany, what do you try doing? Haruna Idrisu, Tamale South MP. Yet a video no. I mean, a video in here already. I don't know.
That the decision by the High Court for him to proceed with a submission of his case had no legal basis, and therefore did not only discharge him but acquitted him. That is what we are celebrating, and he's invited to celebrate us. that, Mr. Speaker, I hear the Attorney General, even instead of swallowing his humble pride, is saying that he wants to litigate on this matter. Mr. Speaker, we assure him that he will be further disgraced because this matter, if you want to try people, try them on matters which are legally meritorious. Letters of credit, and mere guarantees. I can go into the matter. This is parliamentary chamber. So, Mr. Speaker, the minority here is celebrating the independent, courageous decision of the Court of Appeal.
Mr. Speaker, it must never be said, that the judiciary is under the control of the executive. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Harun Ebisu is a courtroom practitioner, just as I am. You were a courtroom practitioner. One of the things that we were taught at the bar was to accept the decisions of the court. And when we are not happy, we should go up. And that is how we enrich the law. So I think that in his celebration, he shouldn't use this as a forum to attack the Attorney General who has no right of audience here. I celebrate in your victory. And you know how much it means to democracy in this country. Minority leader on trial, you've gone through the system, your belief in the judiciary system. Today, on all fours, I don't take alcohol, but I can offer you a non-alcoholic wine. I know Aki doesn't take alcohol either. Anytime we go for lunch, it is fruit juice. So I will offer him fruit juice. But I would want my brother Ato.
Eti near course who Ghana Mrasho Begrafie no. Uti Tamale South MP, Honorable Harun Idrisu, former minority leader, no, what you say Attorney General Koso, Eko seeking for appeal, and Mkwasi be at the anymore. Now, LC, yeah. Working out for the year, the baby, and Mkwasi be oh. And it won't catch and go through. The woman and Mkwasi be right. The same Busa no wide my money question, be a question in Busan. So if the Ministry of Finance requests the Bank of Ghana to establish an LC, that is letters of credit, does that not mean that the Bank of Ghana should make payment under the LC? That's the question that he was asking. It means that on one answer, it means the finance. It means that finance is authorizing Bank of Ghana to make payment on certain conditions. Wow. On certain conditions. On certain conditions. And of course, if those conditions are not met, then payment should not be made under the LC. Is that not the case? That is the case. In the advance LC letter, does it mean also Tiaka? Wow. So why will you say one more was financial loss? This is your witness talking. What does Nia Okobo more some edimu? Let me add the master to force and corner. Then means some new. But don't you know that all this is the court is going to factor them into consideration? You know. Even the posture of the person factor how much more they are working. We didn't mean that in the court, they write it and take notice of it. When they are making decisions, and you think they are working and the court is now judgments and I will make reference to one. So if you know, say, by giving LC means that you are just you are supposed to do something by taking notice of certain things. Oh yeah, now one. So why do you blame me who wrote the letter? Why do you hang me who wrote the letter? It's in excess of and I won't many cousin you. What's it at forcing and authorization? What's it authorization? So for you to prove so when authorization, and that was proven was on authorization. Was saying at forcing didn't get authorization in writing that letter. If you put that to me, and I'm let me prove me. And I want to legislate no authorization. That's how the evidence in must say. Now we need authorization. So do you know what you should have done to be able to prove that? I was like, I want no at this as a witness. No, but to not in your dance. If we said to was say, Mama at authorization, but one fact to uncle, or one fact set up uncle, and one fact to force him on a day to set up a question. Uncle dance here, man, say authorization. My goodness.
agro go for the so you see
it didn't say when to for dance the bia am say
wonnya dance
wow
wonnya dance so we say me permission to have written a particular letter. You are alleging that me say na me wo so me I don't have to say anything again. Me dey say na me wo you are saying I don't have. So what I want to mean, you need to prove the contrary. Say this is the evidence. Or o boss in so me say na you authorization from your boss. O boss na medina transfer. This is his words or these are his words. No aka okay ampa da de nkwana me minimum ho hwe minimum say no aka na abatrose wasem no sampa say me kan say na oni authorization to add the letter. It was for asebo commission e kwotron letter no na kan ho tinya che no. But what do you emphasize that say na ma nipa na no atoso man authorization no atono de na ba court so o me kana say di ma no ama ampa nipa na be dance say oh letter me na man no try o try you kan me man o de bra me ama ya de me stamp man say me seal esi so and ya de call
yeah
which means I authorize it. So doesn't that defeat your case?
Well, any baby I be treated say who took Godfrey dame phone na
man go say na that je court bi
o call be say
o man go say na that you see you see justice is not always about winning your case. My main kind be to have been to Kwame. Na ubehunu say atemmu mu no adaji fo nimpo ka kire say sawo bokwa adua. There's a popular case be I think the case of a two here in the commission I was saying a prosecuting counsel is a representative of the state and a minister of justice. It is not in his function to obtain conviction by all means. Two, it is not in his function to obtain conviction by all means.
Here, Minister for Justice.
Attend them now. That's a quite before no. And then ne bota na say e kwam bia so no. I also be kwada fiase da bi. No what I understand was it, but simply to put before the court the facts which comprises his case and to make them perfectly intelligible. Asa
now what to be attributes are there no what to be put to facts no before the court what making it perfectly intelligible.
He is doing what he said he are not supposed to be doing. He want to get conviction by all means and not getting his facts incorrect. My mom loophole lines be but I say me say in the case by concern Atifor's new authorization, he couldn't bring evidence to buttress that point to say Atifor's new authorization. The rightful evidence was for him, the prosecutor, to have brought Setekpa to court to make him a prosecution witness. But when you have Atifor's more aware response and not be a defendant, no, and mum that the Atifor did Setekpa by so o make man as the dancing. Wow. And no be dance zam partial man authorization. It's a difficult case now so authorization and about. Number two, we say letters of credit a means of payment. And once I was saying else in letter no corner, I'm going to take one now cause financial loss. Your own witness quite my man to say, yeah, cause letter and interest in Piaka. Number just a bit on certain conditions. Conditions then at force in the best conditions in the meeting. I the Oko Chesi can BOG and the Ministry of Health for now. Ambulance in the Modiano. Woman that send the technical team Moko Hesse and Nima ABC near questioning in Abana. Quite my man say ambulance and if be by. If I'm can be a couple to be a good for me by can you saying or no a year now more by now any car go for them buying this car back let them report my country. So now why do you blame somebody?
Eti say ye Ghana for na ye nya lawyer for no case no wo no me sisi yin including aban lawyer panyia na woni obi a ye di na asem e kasa wo phone so ye hu na asem ni nyina asem
and they say
ye nya gidi wo court mo
asem ne ba ne medical aka ne mpebebre say Ghana han ne yense da nye serious ntia na ba bi anka go fredam ya pam de da udumi nya ton general bi.
Wow.
Because it is extremely dangerous for a prosecutor. We nya ya nkase nipa ya kana to abangukum okwada mu mfiedu asa mfiedu num naka wo wani age atu champagne Kwame anna wutimi ni se nipa ne koye kana na se me kora me tu kwan me ntimi makoto etibetimi akoka kire court sa wo yare
yeah
won ko di tron kire court
yeah
wo na mu no ye leader of the bar fa no to nchen as a lawyer you are an officer of the court because you are a solicitor. ana wutimi kachira obisa unko kanchira an institution that you are an officer of no unko twatro nchira wo. You're not credible. You're not faithful. You don't have the good character to lead even the bar. It's a make us so money or my papa bia. Kawo untisa kunya na hotese so.
But you be jam na kosa. I mean about for ba obetima ko.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Kwame. If you say you see we can't always allow things to fly.
But guys, Okojina United Kingdom.
Forget him.
A crab, ya tense. Mukes and crab follow flat.
And when it's in the say on 1 year, you one day na fall flat.
You wouldn't say.
1 day na fall flat. Say with from the kind yes in 1 day na fall flat.
4 months to go. That's your attorney general. Minister for Justice.
We are on break.
Say Ghana for the
legal authority na go break. Yeah, about October. They go break.
Yamra na carry how many months? It's you wouldn't say.
I mean, you know, make sure what more say na that yen nebre. Now, when you are bringing kuku, you say, well, me and a crampon and your attorney general. Well, me and call you attorney general. Manage to not input on your attorney general. It would last year and a woody. But Menua, Kimikofi, Ewan Munyamu, Chesimikofi, Ewan Mugasium. So maybe on Namna dear. What Chess and Mungasia Council.
What's that just on resign?
We have said that long ago. I was saying that the resignation, you should be sacked. You cannot misbehave like this and then you still expect people to acknowledge you as an AG. It's wrong.
Very wrong.
It's wrong, Kwame.
What's the chat for that?
I mean, I still believe that there are some people within our jurisprudence, they believe in honesty and the facts and the truth. And you be an officer with action. There are people who still believe in integrity. There are people who still believes in, honesty. And that those who believe in honesty and proper integrity, they will still uphold their integrity and their honesty. So I believe that we need not to worry our head too much. The court has spoken, and it's final. Until any contrary thing comes in the future, nothing holds. Now, what it means that a person will not be worried to go to court again. Richard Jackpass or Coordinator Pastor to convert to Concord, to convert to Baby Nakojo, Massa, who will be in Assembly. Opa Brapa, maybe.
But I say lawyer truth very much. And over in your mind, I told us an agency, you go so yet was yet here. Honorable Kwame Minkah, member of Parliament, a man this year war, Keta Empesaso, Wabra no social dream war a year at Temune Banrano. Say no kind.
As you know, we right from the beginning, we have maintained that this is a political witch hunt. It's not about because the case. When you look at the case, it's clear cut that signing a letters of credit should not be a crime because as a deputy minister, you are delegated by your minister to perform that duty, which fall within his mandate. So it's a political prosecution, and then God being on our side, the learned judge have actually delivered the justice to the people. So in all fairness, we can see clearly that the man have done nothing wrong. And we give glory to the God and then the justices of the appeal court.
Honorable Kwame Minkah and our trading canon member of Parliament Madisha war Ketam Peswaso. Sounds like President John Dramani Mama Wabro Pro Ewon Fifi Mantemoni Professor Nana Jane Opokwajiman. The animal more TV3 Enya Kwenya Nene Kasaya Defa a year atemu ne banra e for honorable atofo ne Richard Jackpaho. Na your kafa a year atemu no ho anie e na face wo kan bibi e de fa tantene ho eni here say ye di asema ye bedi ama afafa no nyina anya ahotoso se bibia koso frenchim wadan na di se eno ne kwan a wo se ye fa so se de be your mind no be se gina yi hwade we.
Well, I think that it shows the vindication that he's innocent. We believe that this prosecution should never have taken place. Indeed, it came as a surprise because I had quite forgotten about the appeal. This appeal was made quite a long time ago when they filed a no-case petition before the court, and the High Court, rejected it, and so they went up to appeal. So apparently it's been before the appeal court for quite a long time. So it came as quite a pleasant surprise. But it shows that we still have justice in this country, and that we can work to make the judiciary what we want it to be.
Well, we have seen the AG really indicate that this is a perversion of justice in the interest of public accountability. One, if you were his appointer, what would you have advised him to do at this stage?
Well, I think that this Attorney General has been discredited enough. Anywhere in the world, with the things we've seen and the coaching of witnesses and discussion with witnesses, this prosecution have been struck out as malicious prosecution. I believe this prosecution is malicious. He is not as, robust and energetic in pursuing cases that are okay. Even just as we're talking, there's an ambulance case involving this present administration, which is hugely larger than what he's prosecuting, and yet he has no interest in that. He is like a legal representative of the MPP party, over enthusiastic in pursuing political opponents. I've said that when we come, it will be the reverse. We will pursue accountability for the regime that has gone out, but at the same time, if any of our people are involved in the same things that have happened for which we're prosecuting the opposition, we would the previous government would prosecute them too. And so I think that the Attorney General is also the Minister of Justice. He forgets that. He thinks that he's just the Attorney General. The Minister of Justice is supposed to ensure fairness. Anywhere else in this world, this case would have been, and you would never even have come to court, not to talk about talking with witnesses, having conversations with witnesses and trying to tell them what to do. Yeah, this case should have truncated long ago.
The critics of yourself and the NDC say that you have suddenly found your voice in reposing some sort of confidence in the judiciary. What's your reaction to this as well?
No, not that we've suddenly found our voice. I do think that despite the issues we have with the judiciary, there are judges who are fair-minded. We're not talking about all judges. In some cases, we criticize judgments. I mean, for instance, to say that your birth certificate cannot be a proof of your identity as a citizen. I don't agree with that judgment. But they pronounce it, and we've abided by it. We sent an election petition, we're thrown out. I said, I respect the judgment of the courts. So we've always respected the judgment of the courts. As president, I can say that I never ever once interfered in the administration of justice. Even though the Chief Justice was a church member of mine, I can say on authority that I never ever discussed one case with her. I left it to the judges, the wisdom of the judges, to make those determinations. In this government, we know and we've heard of manipulation of justice. Judges are called and told what decisions to take and all that. I do think that we give judges tenure, security of tenure, so that they can be fair-minded in what they do. And I'm prepared to work with the judiciary to create the kind of judiciary we deserve. The judiciary is the last arbiter in all the three arms of government when it comes to any dispute. And the judiciary creates an environment for investors to come. If investors believe that they can get a fair hearing in case of any commercial disputes or anything, they will come into your country. Unfortunately, the message that goes out there is that we're able to manipulate our courts against investors. And so sometimes it sends a bad signal for investment. I'm prepared to come as president, work with the Chief Justice, work with the Judicial Council to make sure that we have a judiciary that is fair, that dispenses justice to all without recognition of your political or ethnic color, without recognition of who you are. And so I think that this is a landmark decision. And if I was the Attorney General, I'll just let it rest there. But I hear he says he's going to go to the Supreme Court. It shows how malicious his eagerness to proceed.
So, eti ena President Mahama Akano. The way Governor Damien ya breaking trend, me kwa kwasiki appeal no. A dine na dream ponedi. A dream woni trim. And he said, yeah, or person within any see. A ye opposition is war. Now what to me, yeah, Juma be said about ya. Wo more ma fan na Juma ni any better no. Sad ya no no dine edi. To say the President Mahama Akano. But then again, so what a year lawyer ya tumberima bibia de di pefe. adansidi a wono ankasa adansidi ni wode ne kwagina adaka mu ne nsema wokaye daddy pefe say boni bi ensi eye honorable eye Dr. Castella to force wanye bibi etia mra wen sika wan tama mine sika anko so bi ansam ade bi a wo hwehwe a eche nie ntia what a letter of credit edema big C no what dine di tremo afa question is say ye de toto Ghana mra na etia mra na bibia da di pefe say entia mra no so no wonder say a judge for ni bini die wo mu hunu adwen ene nyansa e wo asem ni mu a wo mu gina nokora nafa na nro mo de sa eye atemu yi ebetu dwa ediba mo bi anwen say oh enam sa asem wenti all of a sudden NDC amanyoko no omenya eni bia wo mo de kanfo se de asani esi kɔ ewo ya asani bia te se de president Mahama kan no ebi mo wo sa adwen bone no sa asem ne de da so gina ho ene wo de mfato ho awodo atu dwa E11 asemi mo kai eye election petition asemi mo kai ene nsem bebre akoso and attorney general minister for justice hwa scandals ahodo a esi wo maban mu mo ma woni nkoso say ambulance nsem na ho pa akire dia de efa ekufo ado bayi hoyi adentira woni akire adentira no de anya wasem yi a ewo so wodi akire adentira no de wayi woni afiri ho adentira wontu ho anamo adentira wonkyere wadwen krampo ewo ho ye the taxpayers money ne tuauka ye the taxpayers money tuauka say brabe tata with political opponents and I say bahwena attempting NC in a fair and just manner ema Ghana for nyina edi enti ne tuauka and some normal way akosua but you see President Mahama kasa ekasa na ye nya hotoso bi say daachi bi nam kwaso a eba wogina said ye na wo si ye ne no ma bra wo president wo ye president wo gina so de ka so wo say wo ye president no na chief justice no wo ne na kwa asori kro na o they were in the same church but never in his life as a president of the republic and onya bra say wo ne tena se akodi case bi a eda court ho komo wo say wanye bi da beso kandapa kam yete ye said ye atem woni si kono eya na taiba yafa na se tayesa e de asembeba so no wonder say research ahodo akoko goso de nanse ye beto odwa no amanfo gidi e wo kabi mamika bi amambo mu ekofam amanfo gidi e wo attempting emu ekofam no wonder so as to whether say aban we bosome kakre ya akai wo be maintenance wo be repair no ho no we are still wondering said that no be as you say we be nsiesie nyame kwa nanim as you said you sitie say ya no be kono no nyame kwa nanim yenka ye ho de kanda pakan tie we
justice occasioned as a result of the absence of an effective justice delivery system or delayed justice or biased justice is certainly a threat to national security. And indeed, when injustice abounds, particularly in situations where the bench, which is considered as the final arbiter of disputes, is deemed to be biased, citizens tend to take the law into their own hands. Most times.
So what your kind of when justice is delayed, when they are biased, citizens tend to take the law into their own hands. It is a genius walk court when a free war. Obiabaya the ope. No wonder the rise in say with your member of the court to be qua assembly bench. No wonder say Sadia no say baby abefabi obia say wobodia. Edia no bebo. Was one young fan court or court a beche. Or court a 1 year atemu na wahwe no nenzanka. Fise sigana wo mo bepen woni bi. The amount for canono, agree amount for war, and what you attempting ye hono. And to say the President Mahama Kaino, and come here and say, your Attorney General, Yanani Refi say, was also a Minister for Justice. And that is why a maybe by a woman Ghana Bakwasemuno, political party and here from the PPP, no more press, sir, a year Attorney General and Minister for Justice. No, young team, na yenya Minister for Justice, na yenyo be your Attorney General. Because Here we are. We have a reckless government. One in Ghana ho. Eti we who say there's a lacuna wo mrenima wo betiba play to on one kasane advantage. Eti Minister for Justice and Attorney General no justice no we yet on chain and Attorney General Samuel Kwana wo di eje no kra bod wo di eje say eno kra wo ye ne say no si ye no e ka say one present facts of a matter ewo eye quarter sa no ye no in this Godfrey Dame Richard Jakpa ato force in asemi we to be presented facts added to a year court nim Emma court etimi gina so the any year 10. And you see the way God works. So what dear President Mahama here was this appeal no mo call appeals court no. No ma drink grave free show. And before you know bra eti we no enya kwa me say ubeti from all angles. The way atem we bad no enya kwa e dine na dia tell say momu ye nipa ye wo sunsum bi eso temo asa sunsum ni ye nyame anya kwa was no ma dwen kra free so better the partner them and sana ne mind na to so mienu be ye free eye asani bia ne enko ya mamu ho nsem na ye mowura infinity mantam sa bia na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama woni na bedi eche Professor Nana Jeno Pokwajuman eguso omobo ma pro na enada minim se omoba wura denchira ene amafo e wo ho ne ahemfo akodi nkomo na nra no wo mo share president of the Central Regional House of Chiefs or therefore amwakwa buadu a wotoso enwotwe no wodan na di se eye eba empuntu nyuma omuguso a wo hwe aban anim se mpuntu obekoso ewo yes abia no wo my Ghana hwade we
esi nka no na nananum wokwa akon wode gitumi wode ginsase wode gidom nensunde ohimbiara nkwa akopiem se otamfo ha na otamfo ne ohia ohimbiara dan hu modern se ubenya impuntu abanimem na ne dom so wo hu aharan sa so na fifi manteman fo so yo so ye bo modern se ye ni aban bebum ya yako ya puntu na ya jaba
eti Central Regional House of Chiefs omo president or therefore amwakwa buedu a otoso nwotwe and attending karase omuguso a omohwe animu se mpuntuo ebekoso ewo omomantem ho na President John Dramani Mahama nya akwanya se wone ahemfo no bekasa no ohwe omanim straight ka chon so President Ekufuado wakasa pi efa abato ni sunsu aso ewo ne campaign platforms ahodo so na you see asodie kese pa da mo ahemfo mo nananom atena nkonya asodie kese pa da mo so ne se mo ba frɛ no na makasa atrɛ no sɛ abato ne sunsu aso no sɛ de besi akobia no wonji ntum yetie sɛ de President Mahama esika na asɛm.
If you are president, you have the responsibility to ensure there are peaceful elections. When I was president, it was my duty to make sure that elections were peaceful. And so it's the duty of the president to make sure that these elections are peaceful. And please tell him that it's not in his mouth to determine who he will hand over to. He should just promise that when the elections are held, whoever wins, you hand over. But you can't say you hand over to John Mahama. If the people of Ghana say it's John Mahama they want and they elect me, you will have to hand over to me.
And I wish we could get a year President Ekufuado. Ebra no akika gasansem ni bi. Very despicable. Yehu President Mahama, yehu President Mills, yehu President Kufuor. Womu nyina yehu President Rollins impo. Womu nyina womu beko no obi ani wakasa asa. Sa me de womu nsusu yema na sa me da yesu mo no ko kansa akrabo sanke de o say me hand over ma John Mahama. Me hand over ma John Mahama. Me hand over ma obi oye MPP ni. Obi oye MPP ni na me de amemwo no be ma no. Wo kasa sa na e de na kyerɛ sɛ wa wo ye mampanyi no wo bɔkɔ ato wa wo bɛhwɛ sɛ abato na ɛbɛkɔ no ɛbɛkɔ so ofrenchim ni asundwe ani pefe ye okwa so wo so de no wo bra ye kɔto abai wo so de kɛse pa. Your biggest responsibility is to ensure that we have a peaceful transition We have a peaceful elections. But President Ekufuado ne kasa mu nyinara bibia ni wa waka e dan na di say sadwe no na wori tirim. So President Mahama say ahemfo e nananu matana ngonya mo so mo asodie mo ne nkasa mo nkancha ne say it does not lie in his mouth. Enyo no no de na no beka nia wode eye amamu no bema ne dia ne se obeka se obehwe se eye abato no ebekoso wasomwie kwaso na obi obedi nkuni bia no wode obe hand over peacefully say ne eye no ba wode da wano se wode me MPP ni na me pese me hand over ma no sakasa na free en yeguso aye ne ba so ne na ma oguso wotwetwe dwatro e de che Ghana fo no eye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wotoma Bawumia watu ama Ekufuado eye simple wotoma Bawumia watu ama Ekufuado wo pese no ma ya akukọ so for the past 7 to 8 years no wo pese to aso a toma Bawumia wotoma Bawumia Kim eye Ekufuado no ama no third term wo ye mamre mu no ende bia obo fa nyansa kwa so emrakoro ya no ma chinchim no ma dane no ma ye no tisade wo se esitie no ma fa ho wa na diabo ma fam so wo yam from so to abama Bawumia pe wa ma Ekufuado third term ye mamra no ma kwan say president benya third term ba otoma Bawumia I can assure you Bawumia nam no da na no say I am my own man me de madwen na mo boa a campaign away nyina no wo de toto na Ekufuado difference be ne wom the way war patch out the way wura nsori mu the way wura muslimi dan mu ekosom no nyina ene said ye wo si ye ne ho no when you go back to 2016 Nasha said Ekufuado esi ye ne campaign na so toto Bawumia ene ne so that is the reason tia Ekufuado esi nkete say media me hand over Madam Mahama me hand over Mobia media dia me pan say ebe MPP ni na me hand over amano panin kasasa eno na John Mahama e kanu avientie His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wa bra na watch eye roller e was ahemfo wo mu play e wo ye governance system ni mo e ba ya mamu mu a asodie kese e da omo so e ye dia de President Mahama kacha mansan
Savannah desert, destroyed environment, and so we must preserve the forest. Yes, it's attractive to get as much gold as we can, but that is like cutting your nose to spite your face. And so we need to take a look at the balance between mining and making money from mining, but also preserving our environment for our children and our children yet unborn. This links with something Your Highness, the President of the House of Chiefs said, Central Regional House of Chiefs, when we were in there, was about the authority of chiefs. Osaberima was a member of the Constitutional Review Committee. One of the things the 1992 Constitution did was not only to ban chiefs from active politics, but also in the various subsidiary legislations and all that, almost all authority has been taken away from chiefs. And so the chiefs hardly play any role in terms of governance at the traditional area. And yet they are the heads of the traditional area. All that power has been given to the district assemblies. So I would have thought that, okay, even if you take the power to the assemblies, make sure that chiefs are represented on those assemblies so that they can also contribute to the administration and governance of the area. But that has also not been done. And so one of the things we are thinking is that in the constitutional review, we must give chiefs some authority in terms of sanitation and cleanliness in the traditional areas. Give them some authority in respect of environmental protection in their traditional areas. Because the agencies that government has that are supposed to enforce those laws are unable to do so. Or even if they do so, they are influenced by bribes, people go and bribe them. And because they don't really have any attachment to the traditional area, because if I'm a police officer or a government officer, I don't necessarily come from the traditional area.
That's President John Dramani Mahama wabra no watch and no money be a himfo. Ebetima ye ediabua amemu. It does not matter by a political party or what bemu. But the no money be a himfo betima boa. And it's a Constitutional Review Commission. Eda in this womutumi ni bino yebetimi apone kakra na yetime gino mo so na nneɛma bi a local assemblies ne yɛ no wɔn bɛtumi aboa but ɔsɛ wɔn san ba baabi baako wɔn bɛhwɛ wabere a wɔn bɛyɛ nsiesie ɛwɔ yɛn mammerɛ mu no ɛne sɛ yɛbɛma ahemfo no tumi na wɔn aboa na ahonie ho nsɛm ɛtumi gyina yie ɛwɔ yɛn nkuro ahodoɔ ɛwɔ ɔman yi mu yɛahonie ho nsɛm because sɛ ɛbɛ ɛyɛ institutions ahodoɔ a wɔn hwɛ ma saa adeɛ yi kɔ so a mpɛn pii no yɛ wɔn ntaa nyɛ wɔn adwuma wɔ sɛ deɛ esi pɛ mu no eti deɛ na abɛyɛ afa ho Ghanafoɔ wɔ buo mu ɔmo ahemfo eti yɛ ka sɛ yabɔ dawuro yabɔ tontonsansan sɛ yɛyɛ ɔman yɛ adwuma ɔhene ɛna ɛfra obiara di mirika bɛyɛ dɛ ɔbɛkɔ so that is the reason tia President Mahama ɛka sɛ ɔmo ba wɔ nsakraeɛ mu no wɔn bɛhwɛ na saa tumi no nso abɛdi yɛ ahemfo no nsɛm ne yɛahwɛ sɛ deɛ ne nyinaa bɛsi akɔ ba sɛ wɔn nyinaa bɛbɛ mu agya yɛato aba Ghanafoɔ bi aka sɛ ɔmo adan na di wɔ baabi a ɔmɛto ɔmo ba akɔ yɛbɛtie saa clip no bɛdansa na no ɛyɛ director of elections ɛma NDC amanyɔkuo Dr. Omane Boama wɔde kɔkɔbɔ nsɛm bi abɛto dwa titiriw ɛma NDC agents ahodoɔ ɛwɔ Ghana fa na nyinaa wɔ saa bere yɛ abatoɔ kɔmisa wɔba bɛyɛ mop-up exercise ɛyɛ registration exercise ɔmo ntumi anyɛ no yɛsa bɛma makonya na mmatimi akɔ register na mudin aba abatoɔ nwomanim wɔde kɔkɔbɔ nsɛm bi ato dwa wɔsɛ free kyerɛ kɔ ɛyɛ Thursday August 1 2024 ekosi memende ya 3rd August 2024 Ghana for madi mfie du nwotwe ene ne ekọ ne omaso se wo so moto aba but not already registered within no any abato nwomanim no it is expected say district offices are electoral commission wo Ghana for na nyina no won ba bi omo epono no ma bi omo nwomamu na wanya akwanya akotwe wudi wom. But based on your SCC Nansei no, especially figures about to come inside the betu abontain, say ni padudu a word register, omoko about to woman immunity. And they said you must need GDA, I was our figure no media betu abontain, and is here be a no musha anymore, so about to come inside by 1 year ain't Womu agents, NDC agents across Ghana was happening your mop-up exercise no, more fee money. Now when money no. Monsha said beya edi ntwe dwumadie no bekoso wano ebekoso tote no bi anya kwanya amane din aba abato womanimo eno kan ne krata na say according to the EC the mop-up registration will also be conducted in both 41 prison centers and 26 public universities. Accordingly, we urge NDC agents and political actors across the country to be extra vigilant throughout the 3 days registration period. This call for heightened vigilance from the high elections of our great party is necessary because the current voters register, which the EC states has 80,681,366 voters, is not fit for purpose. No, training in bold letters is not fit for purpose. The voters register is sick. NDC agents must also be vigilant because the EC is yet to report back to IPAC on the serious concerns regarding the EC's figures that the NDC raised at the last IPAC meeting. Yet the EC is proceeding to commence another registration exercise. And when you free. Eye figures here wabada na this when ni padodo a register mu a wo mudi wo abato wo manim no NDC wo problem ho yensiesi asam no ana yetu anamo asa beye registration exercise ye ade ama omo ntime nya kwan anko register eti wo say wo sabre ye omo ba beye registration no wo ye NDC agent wo ye obi a wo percent sakaye ba amamu animo wo ye obi a wo hwe animo say change ebeba Ghana make sure say wabua ma monitoring akoso wo fi wani ye ahwe de abato komisa ye ne enkoye bo ho amane de ekoye fuaso na piaso na enko nanim ba de enkoye no si ho kwan mema ne maso eti de Dr. Omane Boama wo ye director of elections ema NDC amanyoko e kanono ene na da o screen so wabra ye di tonton sansan ne to mesel mame Ghana fo na omo che o madwen wo ba bi o mbeto o mabara ko wabra ye di tonton sansan e to pa hwi
the branch a constituency near Bono. Okay, good.
From Kuraura up to Richmond.
Maybe percent. Any problem here? Namia, that's a mutie.
A man, ya, maya. Ayo, and yo, ya, any woman. Ya pasu biaba, a governor city. Na assembly will be a muoka, never man ye. Kunsum, young family mine, Motrobo, young family mine, Mosampa.
That's right. the executioner. Obrafo no. Enkontomponi. Abusia Dwabo Ase the Power 97.9 and a Facebook Power 979 Facebook Live TV XYZ Ghana Facebook Live YouTube XYZ Broadcasting and I'm at so busy TV XYZ. Onya memra na fe ya swag aba what was it oh YouTube CEO TV XYZ any dey won ti aso say yes ayo na so obey eh wawa adwuma di ani so na on teda wa ka ba chale ti di fo ti hado ame bra kwa mi ye my ho ehie ai ye koya ya saba yaba no so de ani aba oh yes na da bon krata egu ani mu ni enya asem ketwa ade ma na de aba ne eni ye so na ye won tell bra kwa ma me fa daily graphic de obo krata mfiti ase na bra kwa me krata yi mu bra kwa me sreka kra bra kwa me say asem dadra no a anope wadi ho nkomo bebre nti ho de yenko ho bi na nkunim die no a and they say you be animsem ba minya say do musika na be me depa oh daily graphic die wan sheda anya yi no an so say atofo senjapa freed nyamo ba ko ne die na be hyase ag to appeal o ko appeal die no appeal o ye na djuma oh jai ade yesi case bi ani ho enti mo obi a me ka bibia ezi wo appeal die se yen santwe mo mra no me ya no se sandalo lawyer djuma na tie enti eno de didi ho nkomo no pe bra kwa wadi ho nkomo ye nkom biem ba bra kwa me ba ko bi wa ha yesi ye beti universities ensia oh enti by December die na there was 6 new universities ebe ka de wodada no oh yes nesisi oh I mean fa unkom yankwai na ha ba bia wo okay education minister yewra ya oseyedu twum ena wo boss anse bi mu amane nti uba kratafa ye toso edumiensa ewo daily graphic de wo krata ni mu ewum first university University of Engineering and Applied Sciences eno wa krodie ewa hafomantemu Number 2, University of Engineering and Agricultural Science, and Obunsu, Eastern Region. Number 3, University of Health, Agriculture and Life Sciences, and Wakentampo, Bono East. University of Mampong, and Ashanti Region. And they are and can say engineering. Yes, University of Mampong, and also Bebaso. And have a local government governance and leadership university and also yanchebe biwo and a University of Sports Development and also yanchebe biwo nti and
edini ne baby omudi omani akse no ni nyina kababu
oh
well
by December dear nya 6 new universities we am na beka yesua pon aye wo ho na question ye say wo mo ewie sua pon prempren ya no
right
e de no wo mo ye because bebre na atena fie be se fie be de wo honi a omunya adwuma nyeye enti university ndi ye se ne ngomasua de ye se no ma bi achi bremo but ni nyina mu no na ye bia na ye bia adwuma ni bi nso aka ho na omu wi a o ma beye because de omu beye engineering ne sciences na asifo nyina ye practical de a omu wi a enya dem no omu de be hye ena enye ayi no omu kwan ho no omu de betena e wo so omu ko practice ni hu sampa adwuma no ma ye enti daily graphic de anope odi abani bra Kwame Ministry of Roads and Highways. As your the initiative biba. We put in a app. Into Android or iOS. Sano mukano iPhone phone. Ubeti mi yako download it. Be a friend. Maintain my road.
Maintain my road
app.
It's a COVID tracker no. Ya de maintain my road aba.
Na raka we onim de be ya ma wo. Say bi amete Polk City. Na bi ame kwan ba bi nye. Access ya. And one say metumi atwempanifo adwene siso say oh. Mete Polk City area ha ba ame kwan nye ntimo me fix ma me. No mo ba be fix ya ma wo. And na wo mu nso eje wo use yam phone so hokra be say call center. Enti ombe ofra o e bia mete akrodie me kwanye enti mesiesie mame ministry ni beba be ye 10 e dia ma enti aduma
baraban we wa akwaduro ni trim ye ne de pa aduma wo se wankasa wo kwotwe
utumi identify na wo ye no
ye ne be ye ma
ye moa wo mo nye
ye de o my Ghana sika be ye app
ai na ye wia ya de data download.
ni asade edita asade akohwe ni asade edita kire mo se me kwan nye nti beye ma me
na data kra say
sese ne boarding no afi no mo se omo de bibi ba e betumi ama ebo na ba fom
kakra
bibi
ne biade
e omo boboy na me de se
sa bibi na na ntine ma sese
enti ayi na no na ayi anoche papa yi osi enche onu abi mensie osi enche beba nti by the say omo nyina de ahye December by December na de tayefo
bizi Ghana for muti ehwe mo mama ni na ho
yo
ya de bibia ekose enu December
asokwa ni ya de be da wa chenchina wa moani ana ho de a ene na kotokro no afi ni atwa 7 kama no ani so ato wa bra kwa me de Ghanaian Times e bokrata papa ye biem ni asade na betoi wose eba ngumesua
adutwum
oman na bwadwuma ya wadutwum ohwe ngumesua
oh yes ya de o say ye mo pene
na free senior high school ba ye a transformation evidence say eba education ngumesua oh chese achievement ni ye giant akesi pa
na gba peso kama
ma bwadwuma mo sua
de na gba peso kama
o send school do
mo de nkwada no so kama
na
ye nim da ye ba bi school ama kwan so
omo wie so ban so a omo sha say level 100 ne so omo bomoden
kama
sa ne e ka say omo ya de fine bra Kwame asemo enti no so ho asem krata na ebo mo amane na krata kro ya na nra edom kuma ne dom kese ne de share the face
fantastic sa video no mo wa ho mo yenyi because e ho hia pa
enti enra loan no say so man ye no anto ba we ne ye appointment committee o say nansen ana mampani akufo ado sa akoyi penifo mienu see de omo ko Supreme Court ho abiem Supreme Court na say omo ye 20 ye de 5 be kan ho nansen omo ye 20 no ye de 2 sa akoka ho omo ye 22 e wo ho enya problem wo de omudin abaya tia
but bo mama mbuso asem we see ansa na atemu neighbor
oh yes sa no pa no
and you see the way na ato force in kasa no kasa free akuma
oh yes
and then na so better pa what do you hwe kaka
ye hwemra
a number of sins and I will tell you the sins that you have committed. Your first sin, you unilaterally wrote a letter to the nominees inviting them for vetting without the input of the appointment committee. That's your first sin. Your sin number 2, you wrote to the nominees setting Wednesday 31st after informing them that we are waiting Wednesday 31st without our input. Then number 3, after we met as a committee and agreed that we will do this vetting before we are recalled, so that during the recall we will take them, inform them that now you have shifted the goalpost from the 35 into a constitutional office until the age of 70. All what we are asking is that advertise for a minimum of 14 days, invite memorandums. So far you have advertised for 4 days. Colleagues requested judgments and other things where we cannot go through the CVs and everything. And then we are told that the majority leader came back and rubbish all that we have done, including his members on the committee, because he was busy hosting ECOWAS. He has gone to drag ECOWAS meeting, which is supposed to be in Abuja, to his constituency, so that all that we have done doesn't appear to him as a good job. So he directed that the chairperson call a meeting midnight. So members of the media, I consider this meeting as an illegal meeting to put together members of a legal community. How can this be? So nobody on this team is against any judge. In fact, we actually want more of them to be vetted in a very decorous and respectful way.
Suspend sitting, and then we'll revert back to you when we are ready.
Suspend
sitting, and then we engage.
We are not suspending the system. Let us adjourn and let's go and have a meeting.
Suspending
this meeting. We will agree. Mr. Speaker, we will not agree to any suspension.
Look,
we are not. Let's
take a vote on it.
Let's vote on adjournment as opposed to suspension.
Honorable.
Yeah, suspended.
Yes, suspended. Say.
Also, the council report.
Yeah, Jenny.
Honorable Patricia PJ.
If I no koi. Say yes ano.
Obewie no say ye be dey.
And almost send the man the phone so crudo no say dey be mama nkonko hands.
Mama nkinchire mu ye.
Opie ye okọ check ye na no so ne dey ayen dey yen suspend no almost say he ne ha aha. Ye be suspend. Ye agene because yes untumi nye saa de no Ghana ha. Say be Ghana ye keba minka bi amamu. Enti entra ho ma obi metietia. Eniema e wo se ye nyina ya dwene ko benkrom ho no say be entia judge bia ni ho ayetia no. Wo de naba fair enough. E wo se ye toto na no ne agi ne tum ye de ne kɔ. Adwuma na wo so ye. But say untumi nye nsi a kire saa. Say because say wo pesa wo kwaye obi bi ehun hia wonti no. Wo de ade ne be hye ye koyen forcing toto wo ma no ne anyi o muntum na ne ye fa report ne ko parliament. There be enye ne saa. Recess ni mu no. Ne ye be ba be ye. Enti eno ne ne enra. E koso e o mra hye bedwe fie ho asem anopa krata yi e bo mu ama ne bra kwa me yemfre no so. Na yenko eye de bonkrata ho afoforo ya abamu the republic de bonkrata ono so kan ira Richard Jakpa ene yira to force na sem no abi se nyame adom court of appeal akweti o ma discharge o mo nenso papa yi a ono de kentinka why na adwene se chese won tehwiase no so won tehwiase ayi gofredamin ese won de ede yan asem no o ma nenso ha obedi akiri e de akosi ase ba Ghana Bar Association for can be the chair pay. I'm saying you're ready to cry no so can be. So was see a CC no crab Ghana Bar Association for conference on Becon and say no. Me and my own near children could be now me casa was say. Wow. Ghana Bar Association or more PRO Savior Kuje and or Casse Southwest na Enra. Attorney General UC, you know. What judge for this one? Very unfortunate. What judge for this one? Ruling nearby, you know. Wow. Say ruling no ye unperversed, grossly unfair. Any dear Ben Chesa Brofa Kasia say no UC yening nano. Or she will be a leader of a group like a Ghana Bar Association lawyer for you now. Omunkabomuko ye sese a wona ye se wo ye ompenny pa because na ye aban lawyer penny a wo muntu na atwa wo ma no nti nsem bi ho ate se bi abra Kwame ye wo ha ye nsem bi ho ha ye expect se bra Kwame ye morning show host e be free na nu mu aba because also odom a woni omo ye sua wana monto bi ne niema enti no kwasem nie ubetumi ne court no nya adwene ti se ye wa ha yi ubetumi aka mi so David Kwame we de me ne won nya adwene wo sa ba wakan hu tie ba sa fe na me betutu brofo bi akese bi na de na because of this na de oh omo se David sa kasa ne de choice of words no omo ne nya
it omo be dey the crack is say
omo person omo che ne say won hwe ne kasa yi
eno
oh yes because a BSC pay am obi ka bibi fa ye mra ya mam modwuma lawyer for ne modwuma amoye ho me no mo conference bi ma wo ka kire won mo say sa kasa no anko yie enti obi a wo akɔdesi obi me fa ne sa wakɔdesi obi say ne kasa o kan ye fa mo modwumade ho anko yie no na wo kro ya sai kɔ kasa asɛm no ebi kro e chain de nipa ne kan no na say you are not helping matters enti no eno so ho asɛm eno no krata yi ena edi emu amane bobi ode aba ewa ha say Republic de Obokrata no na ede aba yemfa no nso si ho na yenko eye de Obokrata enka ye nimu omo so di bia ba o mi hu story ba ko bi o na
wa bra ye bre na ye bre wi so na ye sorry so ya hwe inquisitive
na Ibra Kwame na no tamalia yera John Dramani Mahama ene eye Ghana fo nyina titi ni wo mo a support NDC amanyiko no ekoye ne ekoda campaign edi de cheye no na nkrofo bi keka na ani abase nkrofo ni abase nkrofo MPP ni papa yi tema ni abase nkrofo ni abase eno na krata ide inquisitor de Obokrata semufo adwempo editorial no wo bi sase sebe na nkanwe eni enso awo mo nko ho anase dia because enipa na beko nipa na beko party ni se nipa dia chiri
but you see bas
our sympathizers wo ho
mete the editor person ye na se ba yenchire mu na yenchire mu yi so mo ka bas na nti se MPP for bas no
David
MPP for bas no nya wonko
na wodi ye be so
15 series 20 series
ne best
na bas mo yenko
but
in this case of NDC no amafo na free
omu and they came because of a purpose ni say ye campaign ye koda na didi.
That's right.
and I part ni na ade aye koye enye nipa ba akofo ade ntisi ye kwa boni ewom ne de he no obetana ba bia keka se na se ni eno na enam so ma krata ne bo amane se we de na se fata se wo se eba ne sa enti we de nchechie mu bia ni ho a ewo mu ebie mu ti bra kwa me no ho asem enrem se no ne foforo ya aba apart from the abebe badadan the herald of krata nso anama ne bo a wono nso de ba ye no so bo bi ho a wo bo se mampani akufo ado ne mama yo mienu Edwina ene jankroma ena afa jankroma ne baby daddy say omo bie company na company na omo bie no omo di dua bronsam tawi eno ne adwuma omo de ye wa bra my Ghana mu nsu ye nye bronsam tawi ntum mu se ye bedi hu dwuma
it apart from ambulance parts no Bozamta we so
service na omo ye no service ni he jankroma ne heaven is a Stephen Okoro Stephen Okoro na ye jankroma baby daddy into one na ebo se adwuma na no ye service auto group Ghana no but we dey see from good grow Ghana e no we he good grow limited eno ne adwuma o market omo di dua bronsam ta wi no eti we ye Herald Obokrata no na akwa ehwehwemu a wode saa ensem no abatudwa afoforo bebre ka ho anope bra kwa me aba nti wonsa ka bia ubenya ensem ni nyina ewum
ebesi as always we da say ene obra wanya maye
yes ye da say
na bo so tokwan so wode abekinkan
for having us you know.
We're grateful. We're grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm a poma checheku na tene nkano. Wala bono nkura mine tina se na no pay with Dwabo Ase. Ye ne honorable Samuel Yaw edu say. Odo ne ne tina se kane deputy minister for works and housing. The course what tamale be di unkomo. Ense fufuro bia ye tete de fast aglemi no. Be de beto men nanim me ye sure so anu ye bi fa ho. Me tete ne se eye saglemi no ye de be sha nkran bi nsem omuni nkran bi na be aye adwuma na nkran no wetima aboa aye ni nyina ye no mu hwe o masa de ama aban na ban agina adwuma no ma ye no so e de ama eye adwuma kuaku ahodo said be ya Ghana for nankasa ene beto sa kwan no nana no mo pese ye nana ba usa no bo ebori trinko paso ojitu mana wanyi ntumo no obatere nkenche bia because mensa ka power jackpot no bosom ye da anima ebe enen last day in July 31st July and when ye enetwema no no July we hunu bio etika is 2nd August 2024 ye ba be ye jackpot kese pa na sa jackpot ya ye be gira so magana for dodo na 5,000 Ghana cedis can 50 million ose kwa 5,000 Ghana cedis and ye de magana for this mutie ye ehwe da ne da nyina be kwa obetu afa so enye sesika no and so be dial star 274 star 10 hash star 274 star 10 hash not to power XYZ nema dodo opeso twa kagum twa capacity mu eye mensa ka power jackpot ye sha say ye mensa ka no afimu anie eti wabra ye di emfinhia no ye se ye nya musa akwa ye be chamusika ye be mama disika ye be mama dware sika mu eti 5,000 Ghana cedis and ye dey ma na ye we nyina so ne ye kire do eti ne front no kire wo do anniversary no ye be jira wudi mu ene wusika ma no so ama amanfo e wo Kolebu dialysis unit ye kwakọ so masere osu children's home ye so masere wo ho XYZ Foundation ye gina sika iso akoso amanfo asere wo ho eti mini wa medai midready by dialing star 274 star 10 hash star 274 star 10 hash 2nd August near your draw and your mensa ka power jackpot show anniversary edition show your love the winning big you die one by your best here you buy your trade media so what TV XYZ show me ba live on
member who we are seeing now, at risk of prostate enlargement. We a member or her 20 ebitimi prostate cancer, 5 bitimi afamu na dia obefamu.
This is not my fault.
And to wada, entina midi manichi Executive Prostate Center.
Executive Prostate Center is a unique medical center where we harmonize in-depth traditional medicine with cutting-edge science and technology to cure, to treat, and to prevent diseases like prostate enlargement, prostate cancer.
Executive Prostate Center. Madame facilities no any professional medical care.
Sisi a bibia clear system ni. Ye nro ne so de natural. Into we koso afama ye.
Executive Prostate Center. My cured.
Welcome to Apuntabo TV. We are on a mission to uncover who you will vote for on December 7th and what you expect in terms of accountability. Let's dive in. Who are you voting for in the upcoming presidential elections?
Masapa, with this unprecedented hardship in Ghana, I'm Lemebu Sezi, about to Abanama John Dramani Mahama because we want change.
What do you expect in terms of accountability?
Sir Mahama Ba, he must look into the COVID-19 scandals.
Wow.
COVID came and killed people all over the world, but Ghana could in the country yet your COVID no tax through a company that does not even exist. Over 130 million was raised at the airport, yet no one can find that company. And they said they used 54 million to feed people. This is a shame. Sir Mahama Ba, COVID-19 no yebebu ho akonta.
Make the change and vote for John Mahama so he can hold people accountable.
Kofi guys, headache, sombo. Also, na nyimpa brave inside na mundress na enkono na abochoko wo wankwa na ya.
Oh. You home family back okra. Ma hospital kra ma e ka chem say malaria. Malaria nresu man no.
Also e ka edu herbal clinic. Malaria wo beto na ta. Wo de dru bia ba wo fan edek malakio mixture. Mamumbo bi na no.
Malaria bejani. Fever bejani.
Edek malakio mixture. Genome na bottle.
Edek malakio anu odin etumi malaria papa. Edek malakio betimi fever no ho. Eti de yi hame.
Edek malakio mixture.
Ebema wonu atoso no.
Edek malakio mixture. Eye papa.
Enti hwe moja mu nsa wo atridi ansa na wa fa atridi edu.
Apemfo abata wo manufo ne kwada wo ne fiedum yenu nka ho. Edek enkwa sombo FDA ahwe sa edwadie krato yi mu agiatum se eye. Malaria beja.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Yefem na Kwame me taxi driver na enkane na misisi eso misisi na kame na to na twetweme binya 3p garlic mixer no aboa me pa edum asa miracle bi wadro no se mafu no kra se yesi atwemi ankasa me humi esi suka.
just above 8% in 2016 to 14.7%. And yet, they say things have never been this better. And they have the audacity to compare themselves to our first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. How can you compare this useless government that has led Ghana into such crisis to the government of Kwame Nkrumah? The statistics again tell us that things are not well with this country. All the statistics. For a government that said it was going to come with an economic wizard, an economic guru, and that is the reason why he was being brought to stabilize the economy and stabilize the currency. To take the cedi from 4 cedis to 16 cedis and tell us that, clap for us, we've done well. If such a government is not living in an illusion, what else is an illusion? 4 years of a good leader will make more impact than 8 years of a dishonest leader. It's not about how long you serve. It is about how well you serve.
Justice. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama now turning Kawo TVXYZ so Wabra no dine and he said abai we in the son fast one. Well, and I was who in the son fast one. A buy a sick your friend is city ya. I was so born home one day ma one day a bedroom. Who fast will be what by you? I was had ye move. A bump to Numa, a binding fast one a day. Useless. None of them want to die. Krata ye kurami. I was here trench ye bi was so. The making kind. Nentiasia ba ma me na mesumet making kind. Ama onso enye hunumu ene ntiasia. Se me fa krata na me nya ntiasia wo de atwetwe ibu a. Krata ye useless. Benam say ye useful nti. Ye twa so say Little George Health Shop. Aya so to suru nkubia. Aba ma ye nyina. Ubawura wa nru ahodo a. Wo pato abeboa mo apomode wunsam agina yie no onsabaka bi ato titiru kowa mixture sadro na buasiesi adwe no madwe ne timi ye adwuma yie no onsabaka bi ato ho pain relievers ahodo krankra yade nru nyina and a face for food supplements ahodo nyina benya bi ato Little George Health Shop ubetwenya 3p garlic mixture ato Dominion herbal powder holla herbal mixture ubenya ni nyina bi ato Little George Health Shop. We show much called PV roundabout. And the price we are so dining term. Better from 0243 140213 0243 140213. Little George Health Shop. And yes, so talk keke. Aya pomode wonsam adosuo. All right, brother. So you got Ghana Health Therapeutics. Na yene doctor can be friend Dr. Panye, Dr. Theophilus. Any go dog. Akwa baba chenzo. Yeja. Make up Panye na who say no. Na Panye bay. Ya wa Ghana Bam house Panye. Ah, ya was say 500 or what? Was a me benum said ya and then you was a when you saying Debbie. Where reaction be any come on. Yo, and then I had the Dikaya Uti, Ghana help for Yenny Abba Studio Keksia Muhasi. Na and then Asana Yadin Common Beshasiano. Yadi Jack see Emma Ghana phone na and they your clients are or more free ye order in drone from all across the world. No, Yada will be bias say Oguso patronize Ghana help for your product. Na Ghana Help Therapeutics say Ebia unimi ya Yenny dear drone was so Ghana Bam. Ghana Bam. Eba ya obi biara ejitumu. Nyame adom ye de other products. Et say save 500.
ɛna Ghana man capsules afei so yɛwɔ crypto 400 ɛne yɛwɔ Prostajoy indroni nina no egusu available across all pharmacies and herbal shops nationwide. Tokro bia obefa bia ope Ghana help for your product. Say ye Ghana Bamu, say ye Prostajoy, say ye Ghana Man, say ye Crypto, say ye say 500 no. Ubenya be across all pharmacies and herbal shops nationwide. Impedifo trans no na ye hwehwe kakra na ye impedifo hu say a lot of the time no your clients ne friend ne ka chom say o ebia omonkoye lab omonye lab bi o baby mbra ne fa compare enhwe say edono omonom no omunya result anaso omunya result na eba ne sa omukoye sa labs na e de ba na results ni very very inconsistent e de man iti yankasa ye tnase ene ye say send your name akika kono yankasa yebeye ye hospital yebe friend no executive prostate and herbal center na sa hospital we ya adwen say yebe make sure say ultra modern crowd with modern machines, modern equipment and a top medical professionals na omobe ye adwuma wo honom eti no on the 13th of June last month no ye launch executive prostate and herbal center wo honom na keynote speakers omoba ne die impenifo no mo doso pa na key among them no Dr. Anastasia Irenchi ono na ye Tam D registrar or Gracie occasion na assembly okan ye den nyina assembly betna studio ha na akai me pa the okan ye any say na bibidro here no every faith based practice and as I say yaba scientific and evidence based practice chese en kind tete obi be catch us adan ya okonrem and na motia bi ko kire na duro and na onipa na be yam wan fa science bi atache wan hwese na be affect o kidney wan hwese na be affect o liver no dey man no starting no sa time no say no ye ni sa time ni mo biom na sisi ane de say obi ton edroma wa me patro question na say obi sa nipa ne say what is the science behind it What is the science behind it? And then the science what a drone now the mama ne ho.
And obetchemu say abodie mu nyansa penhwehwe mu be ne tech.
Tie a drone now wonum nechi. Say when me explain abodie mu nyansa penhwehwe mu no ama namba from ama wankasa ana kwala bia ote nchen kra ante dia drone ko mu e ba koye da se a me pacho na there is a big question mark we drone na onipa na to ama one ho. It is sa niama we no nti enu nti na ye bode rodeni na say utie nya fa ho to Ghana Herb Therapeutics for your product so na fe no ma hospital of choice no enye executive prostate and herbal center oba executive prostate and herbal center ye staff a omo ye adwuma wo honum ni na obi a de seria ni animtie ene be hia o na afe no from reception no you better check out vitals. You check out vitals here. Obeko consulting room near doctors for akodi minkita udi honum. Ubia obeko lab for ne so your top medical doctors. Omo money your lab honum edimai. Na equipment ne so de endorse pa honum so. Lab bia ope biano. You be yama executive prostate and herbal center. Uwie na hu hia se obetwa scanner. You were experienced sonographer. Hwa or no so bet take time. No what take correct scan e the amount. Scan bia wo betimi adwen ho bia no. Ye twa executive prostate and herbal center. Na se omu wi a yendro papa no eni indre keka ho a enya mba abonte no. Ni na executive prostate and herbal center. Ye de be pay wo so ama wo yare no. Yashi ase e the amount once and for all.
Chachade bi mo mama. Okay. Enru nyama abonten sasai.
Yes, in drone ni bi wo ho a ni production no ya started. We are still in the process. Like yesiki approvals ni ade. And na ebi so yenya approval no ba ne dodo ni so a ye de be ba outside. It is save ni Prostajoy no we no.
Okay.
In drone e do so sin we.
Enti de manya approval no.
Yes, yenya approval no.
Eni dwom no.
Ewo honum it indrone de enye ne amunim de dane nkoa na eya available oba executive prostate and herbal center indrone de doso wo ho a yare bia obetima dwon bia say yakoma yare oti yare o honam yare o bibi bia obetima dwon bia wo de wo ho beto executive prostate and herbal center so a once and for all you be you problem ni the fuel e the amount there then say ye honom no services ni ye very very affordable ye ante say baby a wo be kwa ansa na ye be check your BP mpo no na ye wo sit you 3000 na 4000 me patro ye ho ye nyesa e wo honom kra me patro ye nyesa ye honom et sese ni a wo call regular hospital no sa na ye no e wo honom oba obetua consultation fee we are no akwa doctors for normal recommended labs at the amount now wo client na kasa no ye be mount chechemu as to the reason why ya wo hia sa lab ko na omo request no eti anye burkata bi na omo ye ewo consulting room so no important labs pe na ye request your me abi wo wa wo ko no ma omo se omo pese omo nya scama hospital ni ntino obehu lab ehu hia obi a oba with mama ifa ni say headache na tipaye na afi no omo kwa koye lab test one na ase be say enye easy o de ekoso o my go
say say you sika kwa
say ahokire no it Ghana help for de yenye sa e wo Ghana help therapeutics ye one of the important labs now here no e no na a doctors one be ma nchichiremu na omo wi a omo di enduro papa no account ama wo yare no efi ho e de amount yendro ne so de dane na yeka say ya acute toxicity studies chronic toxicity studies e wo ho eti no we are assured say edro no enko say we liver and our kidney enko say we liver and our kidney enti ho hia say we don ho beto Ghana Health Therapeutics for yendro papa any your hospital papa ne so executive prostate and herbal center o we ye cha kwan a yawo UPSA road ne so Accra College of Education kwan ne so ye fa be Pilma Hotel Junction honoma na executive process center ye billboard kese no ewo ubetimi a follow the abaye hospital honom enya yera kwan kra Pilma Hotel Junction UPSA road atrako down honoma ehwa na yewo say in case enya wa oka na ode banso na say ofa aka na de ba ya udu Gwal filling station a ewo UPSA Junction hwa taxi drivers now omo honom no omuni na executive process and herbal center for your t-shirt kama then na omo de esa say we special ma yenti no omo be drive direct e de abaye hospital honom me de your numbers ne betu dwatem 0244 727028 0244 727028 and it was 0537 266 300 0537 266 300 and our last number no 0276 814 884 0276 814 884 executive prostate and herbal center hospital wawaswa ye provide quality services at affordable rate
quality services at affordable rate executive prostate and herbal center save 500 Ghana Bam Ghana Health Therapeutics na ti o mo Ghana doc e be say she bi o na twese ne Ebusia Dwabo Ase no asugusu awutie ugusu a share live on TVXYZ ye live on Facebook so Power 979 and a TVXYZ Ghana ebra so ye betena so minor tenase ye bedi nkomo ahodo yes aka kra bi ye kwa akoto aba examples de bobo na bobo ba de aba no kra de edoso scandals ahodo ahosiesi ahoboaboa enhwehwe ahodo amanyoku ahodo no se omo wa omo de to Ghana fo anim ama Ghana fo agina so e de ato aba ne nyina ye nkomo aye di wa say for election powerhouse babeka no pose Franco Trading Enterprise and that's why your phone papa per fie say ye Nokia phone na part of say ye Samsung na part of say ye iPhone papa per bi and na part of Ubo Franco Trading Enterprise o sabaka bi ato and afesu ya say that show my Ghana ye wiem sakra bobra so na ye de ye Franco air condition etu got Franco air condition I want to see gan we ye what are the papa pa Obambo nti ye the CCTV cameras doso popa na aba and afesu washing machines chest freezers and refrigerators papa party bi ubenya bi ato e Franco Trading Enterprise and a pay wabra wutie be hwe me wetu from CCA e 055 593 9311 0555 939311 and official 0246 422338. Franco Trading Enterprise. What that's why I your phone papa per fee. A jebia you were TV Sumaote, a year Chinese doctor Inca. What come man see supi, HMU ye pa. And I edition was a Roman Rich Chinese clinic no Oba Sayare Sabiawa. Want to see can we look. Nazia no more advert ewo TV so ni radio so can no more advert but mama who say I was said to na ti asem no no more baby pa o mo betima ba o mo benya ayade sapa papa a Roman Rich Chinese clinic want to ya make cho ya wa doctor for ma ben wo yade yi mu to say stroke akoma yade diabetes wachi no mpe no yaw na wotie no and also liver and kidney problems. Na sense I had a kum convo. Na phobia yadi we do omokono. E chain cray, mesre bada anybody some. E chain cray. E ti man to na sense I want to make us a Roman Rich Chinese clinic no. O met me dia bono. Udi mo bia yadi bi hana o bet me do omako no akwaje na yare. Ya yade hwe and na yade sa. Wo mo ne Indian High Commission no and e dia ni mo hwe wo Roman Rich one cry ha. From 0546 450 0546 450 but we saw from 055 121 863 0556 121 863 why you have Juada Kosi Memen Equasiada if you are Kosi Fiada no a no pano watch Equasia numerabrum no num and or tenase but Memen Dane Quasiada dear or tenasi free no pano watch no upon a riabremu no mienu 2 p.m. at Obapon. It's a Roman Rich Chinese clinic. Course is here. Nakwaji wayare sa. Abusu abraso. Mamma a year obayikasi akwaba honorable Ankasa. Tamaleno hobby. And I know you. Okay, now we be for baby. Honorable Samo Yao Edu say. Kane a year deputy works and housing minister. Honorable Yamachi Wakwaba.
Yeah, Mammy Chiana Mino sooner. Minchia a T4 near for money no Masunao XYZ. And the platforms I would XYZ. Yeah, platform, any platforms I would do in Fantastic. And my main character was apart from works and housing ministry order. Washanti region no a deputy minister. Yeah. I do baby now man focus on money minister. Well, it's in the past. What the future holds. At least wabra yede and competition no. And she just one of me just be at the day. I mean I can't be so many 9 years ko to aba and come on saying the city war. Me I would do a wako